Hello and welcome back. I am Nachiketa Adakar. As in previous lecture we were discussing about the crystalline units. Similarly, there are 7 types of crystalline units and the way of remembering them I have represented over here. First one is cubic, second one is tetragonal, third one is orthorhombic, fourth one is monoclinic, third one is triclinic, H is hexagonal and R is rhombohedral. And these numbers represent the types of or the different methods which they show. For example, cubic has 3 types, which is simple cubic, second is body centered and third is face centered. So this cubic has 3 types. Similarly, tetragonal has 2 types, orthorhombic has 4 types like simple, body centered, face centered and end centered. Monoclinic has 2 types and remaining triclinic, hexagonal and rhombohedric have one type of their own. Now the most important task which is important for entrance exams is their edge length and the angle between those edges. Here the A, B and C tells us the edge length in 3 dimensions in X, Y and Z axis respectively, and alpha, beta, gamma tells us the angle between these 3 axes. For example, if I am having cubic, in that we are all familiar with the cube where all the lengths of cube are same and each edge is at 90 degree. That's why that exists in cubic form. Now if we will see tetragonal, in that one of the edge is either small or big. So tetragonal is having A is equal to B, means those 2 edges are equal, one edge is different, angle between them is 90. In this orthorhombic, all the edges are having different lengths, angle between those edges is 90. Here we will observe that we are just cancelling out 1 equal to sign. Here B is not equal to C, A, B, C not equal, where the angles are in 90 degree. Next we are now changing the angles. Here edge lengths are remaining same in these two, where A is not equal to B is not equal to C. Alpha beta means the angle between 2 edges is 90, but one angle is not 90. For example, if I will draw X and Y axis over here and I am putting a chalk over here which is in 90 to each other, means this angle is 90, and if we will see the angle between Y and Z, that is 90, and angle between X and Z is 90. Now what we are going to show is alpha beta, means these 2 axes are 90 to each other, but angle between gamma is not 90, means this chalk will be slightly tilted. Okay, is this clear? In this way, in the second condition, alpha is not equal to beta is not equal to gamma, means the angle between these 2 edges is not 90, and the Z axis, the chalk, is also having separate angle. In this way we will try to understand the triclinic. Or there is one more method where we can make models by using just tube wall, cycle tube wall and few toothpicks. I have done those models, but I am not having those models right now. I will show in next lecture. So in the triclinic part we are having these edge lengths and angles. Hexagonal is very important. Here gamma is 120. The angle between these 2 angles is 120, where hexagon, we are knowing the hexagon, this angle is 120, and when we will draw the remaining hexagonal structure, here we can understand that here the angle is 120 and these edge lengths are 90, means alpha and beta are in 90 to each other. So in this way, if you will look into the textbook, you will find the structures, but in new syllabus these angles and edge lengths are not given. So if you want to note down, you can write down in your textbook also. So these are the crystalline units, where these small units are acting like bricks to form a crystal. Means if we want to construct a building, in that we use n number of bricks. Those bricks are like crystalline units in the formation of a crystal. Means if we are having a sugar crystal, sugar molecules will form a small crystalline units, and those crystalline units come together to form a bigger crystal. So in this way, these crystalline units bulk up and form a crystal. Here I have written isomorphs and polymorphs. Isomorphs are those molecules, different molecules having same structure, same crystalline structure. For example, NaCl and uh, MgO, magnesium oxide. These are the two crystals which are having same crystalline unit or same crystalline shape. That's why these are known as isomorphs of each other, where their molecular ratio is also 1:1. That's why these are also known as isomorphs of each other. Similarly, there can be two or more than two isomorphs present. The next part is polymorphs. Polymorphs means what? Only one molecule or one element having n number of types. For example, carbon. Carbon is having n number of crystalline units, like diamond, which is having a separate crystal unit. Then graphite having separate crystal unit. Means what? Same element showing different structures is known as polymorphs, or in simple case we can also call them as allotropes of carbon. So this is the new concept added in the new syllabus, isomorphs and polymorphs. These are the examples of isomorphs, and allotropes of carbon is example of polymorphs. Now up till here we have seen majority of the chapter, half of the chapter is revised. Next we are going to see the packing efficiency for simple cubic, body centered and face centered. In packing efficiency, the basic concept, the mathematical concept which you should remember is, while you are writing the derivation, if I am having a two-dimensional structure like this, here I am having a circle and a square, or let's take this shape. In this I want to find out the percentage of shaded region. Percentage of shaded region. So what I am going to do is area of circle divided by area of square into 100, right? In this 2 dimension we are using area, but if this is in 3 dimension, then we will use volume instead of area. Similarly, when we are going to calculate the percentage of packing efficiency, it will be equal to volume of atom divided by volume of cube into 100. This is the basic formula in these 3 derivations for simple cubic, body centered and face centered. The simple formula is used in 3 derivations. Okay. Based on this formula, we are going to find out the derivation, how it will be easily understood. The concept here is, here we are having 2 dimension. Next, we are going to use 3 dimension. In 3 dimension, we are having atoms, where atoms are considered to be as spheres, and at each corner of a cube there is 1/8 part of atom. I am again telling you, at each corner there is 1/8 part of atom. So based on that, we will first find out the volume of atom. Again I am telling, volume is considered as a whole complete sphere. Okay. Now moving to the derivation of simple cubic crystal structure. So for simple cubic crystal structure, we will draw a cube. In that cube, I will try to draw a shape of simple cubic crystalline unit. In this, you can see this part of atom which I am shading right now. This part of atom is 1/8 part of atom, and this is what edge length, which is represented by 1/8. This edge length is represented by A, and this area of the sphere is R. Means A can be written as 2R where these two atoms are combining together. If we cut the sphere into 4 different parts, we will find out that this part comes out to be radius. You can check this out by having a sponge ball. That sponge ball, if you cut into different parts, you will find out that this 1/8 part is all can be calculated as radius. So adding these two radius, we get the value of A. A is what? A can be used to find out the volume of cube. Now volume of cube is what? A cube, and A is equal to 2R. So we can substitute that value over here. So that will be what? 2R cube. Next we want to find out the volume of atom. As we are knowing that the volume of atom can be written as what? 4 by 3 pi r cube, because we are considering it as a sphere. That's why this is the volume of sphere. But first we should understand how many atoms are present. Depending upon the number of atoms, we will understand how many volume of spheres we have to calculate. So to find out the n number of atoms, to find out the value of n, that is number of atoms, we are going to see that at each corner, how many atoms are there? 8. And how many corners are there? 8 corners. So this 8 and 8 get cancelled. We get 1 atom. So substituting the value of n as equal to 1 over here, we will get the value as 4 by 3 pi r cube. Now we will substitute the volume of atom in percentage packing efficiency. So we will get 4 by 3 pi r cube. So here we will write 4 by 3 pi r cube. Don't forget to write multiplied by 100. Now when we cube this whole term, we will get 8 r cube. R cube and r cube will get cancelled. 8 and 4 will get divided, and on further calculation we get that 52.3% is the packing efficiency of simple cubic crystal structure. I am leaving this for you to do the calculations with the help of log. Substitute the value of pi, substitute these values, do the calculation and simplify it. You will get the packing efficiency. And next, percentage of void space will be what? Percentage of void space will be simply 100 minus 52.3, means we will get the empty space or void spaces present in the simple cubic. Now what are the importance of these void spaces? These void spaces are very important when we are trying to dope any solid, or when we are trying to make any semiconductors. When we are making the semiconductors, these spaces are occupied the elements which are having smaller atomic size. Okay, this was for what? Simple cubic crystal structure. Next is what? Body centered cubic crystal structure. For body centered, I am not going to draw the atoms, but we will do the construction. A simple construction where we will be joining these two parts and this corner with the first corner. I will name this triangle A, B, C and D. So these are the namings given to the triangles which we are now seeing over here. The formula is same we are having over here. I am not doing the changes in the formula. The formula is remaining constant. What we need is now volume of cube, which is always A cube. Now the first important part of us is to find out the value of A, where A is what? Edge length. Distance between A and B will be represented as edge length. So to find out the value of A, first we will take triangle BCD, means we can write down BDC also. In triangle BDC, we are knowing that this is A, and I will write this as B. By using Pythagoras theorem, we can say that B square is equal to 2A square. Now considering triangle A, B and C, this triangle is a right angle triangle. ABC is a right angle triangle. This can be understood very easily. If you are having any box at your home and try to put the diagonal form, means try to cut out the shape of this diagonal form, and then you will understand that the angle between A, B, C, where B is right angle. In 2 dimension it is very difficult to show, but in 3 dimension when you will take the box and try to construct the triangle in this way, you will be able to understand that the angle of B is 90. Now in triangle ABC, we can, if this is B, this is C, and this is A, we can write that A square plus B square is equal to C square, and we are knowing the value of B square, it is 2A square. Substituting that value over here, we will get what? 3A square is equal to C square. Now we are not knowing the value of C, but when we construct the atoms over here, we understand that this C can be written as C can be equal to 4R, and substituting the value of C over here, we get 3A square is equal to 4R bracket square. Now removing the square root, we will get root 3A is equal to 4R. So A is equal to 4 by root 3R. This form is very important. While solving examples or in entrance exams, we need to use the value of A or value of R to find out the radius or edge length. Now here we are having the value of A. Next we have to find out the volume of atoms. Now to find out the volume of atoms, we are knowing that volume of atoms is equal to what? Volume of atom is equal to N into 4 by 3 pi r cube, and N is what? Total number of atoms. In BCC, one whole atom is present at the center. So to find out the value of N, one whole atom is present at the center and 1/8 atom at each corner. So 1 by 8 into 8, it is equal to 1. So this whole term turns out to be 2. So the volume of atom will be what? 2 into 4 by 3 pi r cube. Next task is we are going to substitute the value of A. So this becomes 8 by 3 pi r cube divided by value of A is 4 by root 3 r bracket cube into 100. Now further calculation I'll leave it to you, and directly it is like 63 or 62% packing efficiency, and then we can find out the void spaces for body centered crystalline unit. These calculations you are going to do by log. Please don't use calculator. In 12th we need only log calculations, and those log calculations are only going to give you the marks. If you are practicing good and if you are not able to use the log table, then it is very difficult. I'll suggest you to go through the log lectures which I have already uploaded on my channel, and please go through them, practice log calculations, which will help you to save your time and score good marks in your boards. Thank you. Next derivation I am leaving it to you. Right now I am leaving it to you. In next lecture we will start with that derivation and then go for the examples and the remaining part of this chapter. Thank you.